Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. We're glad you're here on this wonderful Christmas Sunday, and we wish you a Merry Christmas. Whether this is your first time or if you keep coming back because you like what we do, we honor your presence today in our wonderful community. So today's talk title is Results versus Growth. And I brought a quote that I would like to share as well. Creativity itself doesn't care at all about results. The only thing it craves is the process. Learn to love the process and let whatever happens next happen without fussing too much about it. Work like a monk or a mule or some other representative metaphor for diligence. Love the work. And this is a quote by Elizabeth Gilbert. So I invite you to just let those words sink in and ponder it as we listen to today's talk and to the announcements. Also, I encourage you, after you watch this video, I encourage you to check out our website, cslcharlotte.org. There you'll find out more about us. We encourage you to subscribe, to put in a prayer request, because we enjoy connecting with people like you. Also, you can follow us on Facebook as well. We are always posting something new throughout the week, some announcements, some inspirational quotes that you like, comment, and to share with all of your friends. Spread this Christmas joy. So I invite you to just settle in with your gingerbread flavored eggnog as I pass the mic over to our fabulous, radiant Reverend Rosedale Jones. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. Gingerbread flavored eggnog? Well, hey, thank you, Alan. He is my right-hand man and MC for today. So I love that creativity quote he had. It's going out on chat. And if you want it, send us something on YouTube and we will get it to you. So welcome if you're on YouTube as well. So we are welcoming you today to CSL Charlotte, which is the Mind Body Spirit Center. Today, we're talking about results versus growth. Now, first, let's set the tone with my friend and great colleague, Reverend Sonja Prince from California. Now, give her this warm, beautiful welcome and listen to her awesome affirmative prayer.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And so I just invite you to join me in consciousness as we close our eyes, if it's safe for you to do so. And just take in a deep breath, that breath of God, that breath of life, and knowing that there's only one source, one universal presence. I call it God, the living spirit almighty, but you can call it whatever you choose to call it. But what I know about it, it is love, it is beauty, it is joy, it is all these wonderful things. And so we gather today in this moment to honor the truth that is within each and every one of us. And that is that we are individualized expressions of that one. We bless this service and all that it has for us. We reawaken to the truth of our being, and we do it in such a beautiful way. We bless Reverend Rosedale and the message that she's going to bring to us today, because we know that as we begin to hear the truth over and over and over, it resonates within us, within our soul. And we make those transformative changes that we need to live a better, more fruitful life. And so I just welcome you here again. And today, let us open our minds. Let us open our hearts. Let us deepen ourselves in compassion and love and transformative growth as we enjoy this beautiful service that is meant for our transformation and meant for our growth. So what I know is that everything is working out exactly the way it needs to work out. And I give thanks for it. And I give thanks for all of you and blessings. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Sonja, for giving everybody, us and everyone in YouTube land and everywhere, the permission to have that own God just the way you like it. And that's the way it should be. So thank you, Reverend Sonja. I was going to say Reverend Rosedale. What? So next on our platform is our reader, Jerry Campbell. Oh, no, I was getting ready to say Geraldine, but I would have got choked. So it's Jerry Campbell, aka Groovy G. And now, after her reading, we are going to find some awesome clarity on results versus growth. And just let yourself accept what she's about to read about the and world. Okay? And after Groovy's reading, listen to the song Grow into You. You hear results versus growth. So listen to the next song. And once you hear that, you'll have me back. So Groovy, make it do what it do.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to share Live in an And World with Possibilities, written by our very own Reverend Rosedale Jones. Thinking about life with an open heart and mind, eager to embrace every possibility rather than being bogged down by limitations, truly sets us up for genuine growth and fulfillment. When we get stuck in either or thinking, we miss the rich variety of options that surround us every day. That's the real downside of limiting ourselves. It feels pretty inferior and discouraging to think you have to choose one thing at the expense of another, doesn't it? But here's where the power of the and comes into play. This mindset is all about welcoming more. It's about more synergy, more balance, and a deeper connection as a spiritual being, having human experiences. It's about seeing life's decisions with flexibility and a willingness to explore multiple perspectives. Imagine being able to go for everything you want without feeling like you're sacrificing something else in the process. That's the joy of adopting an and mindset. It's about not being boxed in by tough choices, but instead feeling free and happy because we're not forced to pick one path and lose out on another. With this approach, life becomes a canvas full of possibilities where you can blend colors rather than sticking strictly within predefined lines. You're free to mix career aspirations with personal passions or blend fun times seamlessly with personal growth. In essence, it's like having your cake and eating it too, but better. So next time you're faced with a choice that seems black and white or mutually exclusive, remember that embracing an inclusive perspective can lead you down paths rich in opportunity and satisfaction. Life doesn't have to be a series of compromises. It can be an expansive journey filled with endless combinations, waiting for you to explore them. That should change your results in life and help you seeing the growth opportunities that are available because you live in an and world. So go out and play in it. The following is a quote from Reverend Rosedale. The and mindset encourages us to seek harmony between various aspects of our lives rather than viewing them as competing forces. And so it is.
Wow. We'll start with a 2 minute centering. Relax your eyes and look into your lap if you like, or close them. But it's your choice. Now breathe in really deep and just think about it. Aren't we always changing? I used to like chocolate marshmallow. I don't like it today. I'm always changing. That's why I love the totem butterfly. And see, this song paints, Paints, paints growth as a journey of transformation. See, the caterpillar becomes a butterfly. And it reminds us that we are all born with potential to change. But the real strength comes by embracing that potential instead of avoiding all kind of difficulty to get it. Don't avoid it, let it come. You'll change and you'll get the wings, because you know what? The butterfly is the realized you, or me. That's why I like them so much. It's strong because it went through that whole metamorphosis, right? It's beautiful and it is free to soar, to fly into the purpose of its life, or into the purpose of my life or your life. See, we're powerful, we're unique, we're beautiful, and we are all meant to fly. And you know, I'm a big metaphoric person, so you know what I mean by that. I'm not one flew over the cuckoo's nest. I'm literally considering that we're flying. So our struggles here that we run into, that we think we have, you know what they are? They are the very thing that builds those wings and get us to fly. So today we're going to get clarity on results versus growth. And you're going to be a choice whether you want to get that clarity or not. But you know what? You can always choose spiritual practices so that you'll know how to measure your results versus growth. I constantly talk about measuring, so stop doing that. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and integrate your mind, your body, and your spirit. And as you float your eyes open again, look around your space and find something in your space that literally connects you back to this present moment. What can I say about results versus growth? Well, results are temporary. Don't argue with me and just think about it. Growth is lasting. Think about that too. But you know what? Results, they come and go. Some results are quick. Some results take longer. But let me tell you, you know how long it takes if you're watching the sun to rise? Well, growth is that sunrise, metaphorically speaking. And it's slow, it's steady, and it's inevitable when you honor the process. See, when you're not trusting the process, all kind of things is going to go wrong on your journey. And here's what's going on: Facebook, media, all of these things and ads, they all sell quick fixes, miracle diets, overnight success stories, and they even have instant spiritual enlightenment. I look at some of these things on YouTube and I see them talking about tonight you can be prosperous. There's so much you got to do, so many ways to grow before you get to that place, but you got to be willing to do the work. Growth is like the sunset. And here's the thing: science and spirituality both agree that transformation does not come with quick fixes. They come with practice. Now, science may call it exercises or something like that, but we will call it spiritual practice for all intents and purposes. Because see, behavioral science is so important. I have to teach them both because it all has to do with our mind, body, and spirit. We cannot do science without spirituality. It's just not an easy way for me to teach, nor is it an easy way for me to learn. Behavioral science shows that lasting change comes from us forming habits that support neuroplasticity. Now, don't let that word have you going, what the heck is that? What is neuroplasticity? It's the brain. This is what it is, guys. We have it. We were born with it. We'll never let it go. It's the brain's ability to rewire itself from the old us. Let the old paradigm go. Oh, I keep talking about this. Let that stuff go. But here's the thing: we rewire the brain by utilizing habitual, I got to slow this down, repeated actions. You got to be, repetition is the mother of skill. I love Reverend Sonja for that because she remembers me for saying that all the time, but it's the truth. See, that's what neuroplasticity does for us. It lets us think, stop, slow it down, retrain, move it. Neuroplastic, think about the word plastic for a minute, break it out. And it's all moving around stuff and repositioning. So realize softness when you hear neuroplasticity, because it's just your nervous system. And you got to trust that. Your nervous system is spirit. And you can control that by changing yourself from that sympathetic to that parasympathetic mindset. And that's how we change our mind, by utilizing affirmations. If you're going to use the affirmation about, oh, this ain't going to work, there you go. Bam. If that's still an affirm, you're affirming. So don't tell me you're not. But if you're going to use the affirmation like, I am totally resourced, man, you can't tell me I can't have that. Because once I do something and I come back to worry again, I said, wait a minute, you already prayed for that one, so let that go. I literally say it just like that. I am not playing with this game because I know it's a game. So that's the reason we repeat affirmations. We need to hear it over and over so that we can really get it. Because when we practice, the brain changes in its neuroplastic system, right? It's a system inside of us. And this way we can transform from the inside out like the butterfly does, like everything else, the trees, right? Like the tide goes out and comes back in on the ocean. We are constantly in transformation. So you need those affirmatives to get to the things you choose to live instead of to get to the things you're really not choosing, because you're still affirming when you're getting bad things happening. So don't be blaming the world or anyone else, because you got to say, hey, me. Transformation and spirituality. You know what it begins with? What it starts out is change. You got to have a change of mind for transformation of any kind. Oh, I like that. Of any kind. I like that. In spiritual practice, we have the ability to change our neuroplastic system of our brain with these affirmations. Now, see, the thing is, if you're not willing to do that, who is there to blame? Your mind must change in order to reflect the growth in your life. You got to start measuring. I talk to people all the time about that. You got to measure your growth. And I love how the people I work with out in different places now, in different rooms, really literally say, I get what you mean, because I'm doing everything, mind, body, and spirit, so we can look at all of this. And they're willing to look at it all. So in other words, change is a must for growth. Gotta have that. That's why the butterfly can't fly until it lets itself change and go into that painful metamorphosis. If you don't think it's painful for wings to come out of that skin and just change you, and then you're good to go. Handle it. Handle whatever you got to deal with to get you where you got to go. Every time you choose to practice, you strengthen the pathways. Just see your neural circuit as a bunch of winding paths with the nerves. The nerves, that's what they are. They look like that. They got all kinds of dendrites, all these things. I love this stuff. It just really fascinates me because it's my body I'm reading about in science. But what happens is when I practice, I do get to strengthen those pathways that shape who I'm becoming next. And I just welcome that thing going, all right, I'm going to see what I'm going to be in about 2 weeks. Because I'm noticing it bit by bit, the calmness that always comes over me now, the easiness. Can you see why affirmations are so important here? See, spiritual wisdom, they use this quote, and I love this quote. It is the truth, though. Listen to it. I know you're going to get all biblical on me, but wait a minute. I'm going to say it as a metaphor. How about that? As you sow, S-O-W, sow, S-O, shall you reap. It's like the seeds being planted of a plant. So the seeds are just daily habits. And so you got to keep dropping these seeds. And they're all coming from your ideas, and your ideas are important, but you can't just sit on them or walk away from them. See, repeated affirmations create change for us because of our brain's neuroplasticity element. As long as we got that we can change our life. Because that spirit, the neuroplastic system of the brain, that's the mind. Growth is not the frenzy of all those quick results out there that you see. Oh, take this. Oh, do that. Everything that I do, take, and have is because I have read about it, I have done the research, and I have tried it and decided that, yes, we're going to keep you or we're going to let you go. Quick fixes only appeal to the ego because of the speed. Okay? It doesn't appeal to spirit like that. Your oneness with spirit. But now here's my question. If you're going to habitually do nothing with your life, what can you expect from it? Your life. What can you expect from it? Because quick fixes or quick results, they rarely let you see that growth impact or let you feel the growth impact. Because what does anything about it all is spiritual practice. That's what creates growth. Any one of these spiritual practices create growth, like mindful meditation, prayer work, breath work, mindful energy. And when someone that I trust tells me, I'm going to send you some prayer, I know that person is good. Like if I said to me, Pete, let me just tell you, and he says, you know what, I'm over here. It doesn't matter where he's at. He's just in Texas, don't mean nothing to me. Not when it comes to spirit. His intentions are here. Your intentions are where they are when you put them on a person or when you put them on a situation. So spiritual practice works in all areas of life. You heard the reading. She says this, that and world. We're not looking at just, oh, well, today I'm working on my love life and, that's not going right. Oh, today I'm working on my banking accounts. You better work on all of these things. And it's an and world. Every single one of those pockets need and want your attention. It's not about practicing for a result. It's measuring your growth and aligning with your essence all the way. When you sit in stillness or move intentionally, because I can be moving and meditating, I can be driving in meditation, I can do it, and so can you, but I'm just going to tell you what I know. Because you may not believe me enough because you're protecting yourself from trying all these things. So I'm going to tell you how it is. When you sit in stillness or you move intentionally, you are training your mind to return to this center. You're training your heart to open. And big, you're training your mind to trust. See, this is that transformation that lasts because it changes the root of the tree as much as it changes the fruit of the tree. The fruit, the tops of the tree, whatever grows out, but also where's the roots? It changes everything. Consistency is the bridge between results and growth, or results versus growth. And what science calls this is, I like it, it's still, I'm relying on my spiritual practice, but science calls it self-efficacy. And that means that you believe that you can trust and depend on yourself. But actually, when we say that I'm dependent on God, you're dependent on yourself, because where is God? Come on, everybody. You heard Sonja's prayer. in that God. I don't care what you call it. That's what it is that you're trusting in. But that's self-efficacy because that is you. That's just the scientific phrase for it. But the spiritual phrase is God or spirit or oneness or the quantum field. I don't care what you do. Our oneness with spirit creates faith in motion. Every time you show up to practice, you are proving to your mind, body, and spirit that you have that faith in motion. Yeah, because the moment I said a prayer and I get something nagging me like, you just pray for that. So let's move on. I'm telling you, it's like that. If I was talking to a regular person that was getting on my nerves, I say, look, move on. And I mean, move on. And if you can't be that bold to yourself, get that bold to yourself because your trust becomes confidence. Your confidence becomes freedom, and your self-efficacy is what gives you your trust. I went there instead of taking it to spirit. I went spirit and science on you in that one sentence. Some people don't like sitting still to practice. But I personally do either or. You heard in the reading, right? Either or. I'm an and girl. So I can personally practice by sitting down, or I can move with intentions. So I'm a mover girl, or I'm a stillness girl. It's me that I want to do because I'm open. I know how to open real quick now. Now here's the thing. You can start by doing this. You can start standing when you get up, after you stretch your body up, because it's important that you stretch your body up real good before you get out of bed. But people are not going to listen to me yet until people don't think about balance until something changes. Just remember that, because I told that to my patients, they just went, oh my God, I get you. You can do this by standing, walking, lightly stretching, right? You can even be doing it making tea, but you're present. You can do it while you're getting dressed in the shower. As you begin your morning movement, you can be walking, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, getting dressed for work, but you might get up and open your curtains, because I have to turn my blinds closed every single night because I don't want any speck of light. But you know what? Once you do while you're doing all these things, you can just start quietly saying, here's an affirmation. I am awake inside my movement. So now you call in attention to yourself. There's no need to slow down and stop. Just notice your feet on the floor. You're standing, you're walking around your house. See, the fact that you are already aware, it tells you and your system, hey, we don't have to stop life to be present or to get any insights here this morning or this afternoon or whatever we're doing. You know what the biggest things I stopped doing is not having anything going in my ears while I'm working. So what I do is make my own recordings and I listen to them while I'm going around the house. Is if I don't, it will allow all other thoughts that are in here from yesterday, 2 days ago. No, that stuff that I'm listening to just got recorded. It takes me 10 minutes to do it. You not work 10 minutes? So instead of asking, like you heard in the song, what should I do today? Ask, what wants to move through me today? Then keep moving. Don't chase ideas. Don't judge them. Let an idea rise naturally. Let me give you this real example of what I mean when I say, I don't just sit still, I move and I want to hear my own wisdom. That's insights, right? Okay, watch this. So the other morning I did a practice because I wanted a new thing for the new year. I like to do more income streams, right? So I don't practice or struggle to receive ideas. When I want something new to come through to me, I'm doing something. I'm either sitting still or I'm moving or I'm doing it. But the ideas, they flow on their own. So I did something the other morning, I don't know, and all of a sudden it said, bam, you know what you're going to do? You are going to, I saw it happen clear as day. You're going to do a 12-week session with a different group because I've been out networking with all these people to find out who's who. And I found out these facility owners and I started doing that. So anyway, I said, wow, a 12-week session. Get them in there, assess their body, their mind, and their spirit, and explain to them about what they're doing. And every single week, give them a new lesson. And then at the end of the 12 weeks, let them measure. I love this kind of teaching. Hey, that's a new income stream. But you know what? People stay present in these things, and that's what I get really carried away with. I love it. So I said, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But years ago, I might not have done that idea. I would have just kept on. But I knew that was a message. So I sent that email out to 2 people. And it's just, talking about that. And I told them basically, this is what I want to do. I want to assess this. I don't even have a name yet. One lady texted me back right away and said, Rosedale, it's great to hear from you. I love your idea. Want to get in here? By Thursday, I was in her office. But you know what Spirit did? Showed me that you don't have to do, look, brains belong on tap, not on top, honey. You don't have to be all tech savvy to put that material together. Because as I'm sitting in her office, she's telling me, you tell me what to put. She's got 2 big, beautiful computers sitting there with the screens and all. I thought of Timmy P immediately. I was like, yeah, this is my girl here. So, and she said, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. You know why? Because people are looking for people to come into their facilities with somebody like me. And I didn't just grow this way overnight. I grew here and I measured me every year to see where I am. Now I'm at the point where I can just drop, stop and roll, or whatever you call it. Speak, the real joy in the work I do is this. It is fun. And also, people coming to me saying my quotes that I said, I would all tell them, happiness is an inside job. I got about 30 or 40 Christmas gifts and cards, and all of them tag it with happiness is an inside job. Because I'm not coming from a rehearsed word of the world. I'm coming from my intuition and I'm following it and I'm real with it in every sense of the imagination. I am so real. So going out to network and learning these people is not a problem. But once I got that idea, I knew who to email. You can rest assured of that because I did all the other work in the front without knowing it. So I didn't sit down and overthink it because I could have sat down and said, you know what? Let me just think about this again before I get to send this out. That's where you get stuck between results and your personal growth, because now you can't. So once I sent that email out, I can't back up and start worrying because they got it already. So when I got that reply, I was all good to go. See, my ego can say something like this. Well, you can't do, remember the reading, what Ruby was reading, and world, it would say, you can't do both of those facilities because so-and-so's feelings might get hurt if you do it to them and don't do it. Honey, listen, that has nothing to do with me if their feelings get hurt. Wow, that's how I am now. I have changed from that. If I'm looking for an income stream, they can't help me get it if I'm sitting there feeling sorry for people. Can't get it. And I don't mean to be ruthless, but I'm telling you something, you got to be real. See, I don't have to do first come, first serve. This is an and world. So when I want to do both facilities, I'm going to do it. Because you already heard when Groovy read, when you get stuck in either or thinking, guess what happens? You miss all that variety of all those big time options and possibilities that's going to come to you. See, I had already taken action, so there was nothing I could do. So now I got to go face the music. She said, you want to come and we'll talk? Yeah, I went on. So Now, I'm going to continue meeting with everybody, and I'm going to do both facilities, and so what? They'll be in competition with each other. But then guess who's getting paid in the interim? I have to think of me. What about you? Don't you want to have fun and enjoy fun things in life? Yeah, I'm a minister for CSL Charlotte, but let me tell you about CSL Charlotte. If I didn't have to do all this research and all the work that I'm doing, my growth might be a little slower. What about doing work you love, everybody? Guess what I found out about my growth when I measured the other day? This is a word I'm going to laugh about, but I changed. This time, I moved beyond that old self that would judge me and say, I cannot believe you text them that quickly. Why would you say that to them? And well, girl. Well, that's who I'm talking to, this girl here. Time to be going through all that. Now you're just going to keep on moving. We got other things to go. Because see, once those thoughts come, and I say to myself, oh, I don't know if they're going to like that, or let me just sit down and figure this out, I have already lost. Those thoughts cannot, and ideas cannot come to me if I keep shooting them down every time I hear one. They don't have time to settle in me anymore, the derogatory, the opposite, the not do side. Because one thing I've learned is this: when you move right away with an idea you get, instead of sitting in doubt or fear, things just line up naturally. But you got to do it within that same window. If I said I'm going to resign from here today or whatever, I better leave. Because there it is. Everything's lined up. That's what I mean by letting the thoughts like rise naturally. That's what results versus growth means. You're going to get the results, then you're going to measure for your growth. How much have I grown here? Wow, look at how bad I am. Look at that. Last year, I would not have done this. My results take care of themselves. So in order to have growth, there must be change. So I got to change from that. Wait, let me just figure this out. Stop. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. We can say this also. There is no growth without change. I also know this. There is no instant. So stop looking on the news and Facebook and everybody for these quick results. There's no instant results to chase, and there's nothing to worry about getting right now, because that's where conflict comes between the results versus the fear. When you start, wait, I want this fast. Now, growth is the sunrise. Slow it down. Let it happen organically. When there's no reason to change and we're chasing these quick fixes, and fast results, then we miss our growth. Listen to me. When you can't find a reason to change and you start chasing all those quick fixes and fast results, you miss your growth entirely. And there is no growth without change. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. And when we miss our growth, we end up measuring ourselves by outcomes instead of our growth. We got to measure ourselves by growth instead of the way things happen, because growth comes from change. I like the word change, not in place of it. Growth takes movement. You got to act on it. Growth takes practice. You got to either move or sit still, right? I said you don't have to do anything any box way. Get out of the box. But here's the thing. Growth takes time. So this next song, I want you to listen to it and pay very attention. There's not that many words that he's going to say, but see what you can hear when you listen to everything must change. I found that song because it's been speaking to me. Oh my God, years ago, I used to go to this club and we would go for drinks all the time. And there was always a jazz guy there. And whenever I showed up to that club, he knew I wanted to hear that song. I forget his name, I don't remember, but he said, here comes that Rosedale girl, and she's in the audience, y'all. I got to play everything. And he sing that thing, I'd be laid out. And my friends would be like, okay, do it again so we can calm her down. But that song has been speaking to me all week when I started talking about, I changed. You know, it must change. No one stays the same. That's just the way of time. Didn't he say that? Because, the wind, wait a minute. Oh, I love it. They say, this is one thing that's for sure. The rain comes from the clouds. The sun lights up the sky and hummingbirds do fly. And then it's one more thing I want you to remember. The young becomes the old. Stop saying to yourself that it's bad to say the word old, because it's not bad. You can get older and older and older and healthier and healthier and healthier. You know how I know? Because I'm healthier than I was 20 years ago. Mysteries do unfold. And that was a mystery for me back then, because that's the way of time. So now remember that, guys. We're going into another year. It's time to make that change. And before we make that change, let's make sure we come into this love week, which is Christmas, and you don't have to give nothing but love. But I mean, if you don't have it in you, you can't give it. So build up your love muscles today. You are the first love in your life. Be it and act like it. Now I'm going to hand my mic and change. Well, I just want to say a couple of things between what Alan said and what Timmy P said, because CSL Charlotte is not something you do when you think I'm going to donate to a church, because this is more than a church. This is a transformation station. What happens here is real. It has changed me in many ways, and how I show up as well as how I lead here, home, and out in the world, and how my life is. So I watched to do the same thing, me using the principles I teach here to people out in the world as well, that are just choosing to be out there and pay for these classes. But those people that I work with outside of this community are people who like the principles. It doesn't have to be in these walls. But here's what I know. To get insight, you need to circulate your own things. You need to circulate your love, you need to circulate your money, and your time. Okay? Because that's how that energy works. And as you drop your guards to protect this income of yours from circulating, you will change and prosper too. It's not, but you have to believe that first. But I understand that many people feel protected and guarded. I must watch my this and that. But it's really not about all that. It's about keeping your results versus growth conversation within you. So as you give today, notice, are you choosing results or are you choosing growth? Because that way you'll know you. And that's all I want to say before we close out. So remember, today was all about results versus growth. And as we move into this Christmas season, I wish you more than comfort. I really do. I don't want you to be comfortable. I want your butt out there trying to do things. That's my wish. I wish you the courage, the honor to grow within you. That's what I wish for you. And I know this season reminds you that it is not something that you're waiting for. It's something you allow. So I know peace finds you because life is perfect. Life found me. But because you are choosing alignment over judgment and fear, you will have that wonderful new year. I guess I don't know where that one came from, but it will be good because it's almost another week from now. So have yourself a Merry Christmas. Not a small one, not a polite, but a full, meaningful, life-affirming one. So let's be honest. Are you ready for that peace that you practice? Because I know love is something that you let in, not something you chase. So listen to the song that's about to come up right now that goes with all of this to wish you a Merry Christmas to my team here at CSL Charlotte. Great. So CSL Charlotte and all of you here today, I can't see you yet, but I want you to really have a Merry Christmas because this girl told me the other day, and she doesn't really know me that well, but she said, you have a soul that's on fire. And so you know what I like to do? Send it out to you. And one thing else, let it ground you and carry you forward from this year to the next. So Reverend Sonja, are you ready to pray us out yet, my dear?
I am ready. So I wrote down some things because I was so inspired. So results versus growth is a choice. And I also wrote down fast results. When you want fast results, you miss your growth. And so no growth comes without change. And so I was reminded when I saw the caterpillar on one of the musical slides that I was at a retreat and I saw a caterpillar actually climb and put himself in the chrysalis. And I recall that as he was doing it, he or she, the head came off and the consciousness of the caterpillar was no longer there. And what was left was infinite possibilities, that transformation that I knew would take place within that chrysalis and that cocoon. So I was so inspired by today. And so I just want to invite you to take a deep breath and just absorb everything that was spoken today and take these beautiful lessons into your life. Because as we go forth from this sacred journey, just remember this growth, this results versus growth. Remember, it's an inside job. Remember that transformation happens slowly. And when you chase fast results, it doesn't stick. It's just a quick, fast result that does not stick. So let's celebrate these moments in our lives, this day in our lives when we have heard with clarity and with beauty and with just joy that I could hear coming from Reverend Rosedale because she loves this teaching. She loves talking about neuroplasticity because it allows someone else to hear what it is and we can make changes in our life. So this mindful awareness, this using these affirmation and these tools that she gives us week after week after week is meant for our transformation. So may every truth that was spoken here today get rooted in your soul and you take it out into the world and you allow transformation and change to happen in your life. Reverend Rosedale has given it to us with clarity, with beauty, with love and excitement because she wants you to take it. Like she said, the fire within her, she wants to pass that fire on to all of us. And that is a beautiful undertaking. And I thank you for that, Reverend Rosedale. So I give thanks for this service today, all that the knowledge that we have been blessed with. I give thanks for all of you who have shown up because I feel like, how do we end up together? This must be a divine appointment that we all decided that we would meet here for results and for transformation, and we will do this together, led by a wonderful minister that is shaping our minds and reshaping our minds for growth. And so I just give thanks for it, and I let it be what it is, and so it is.
My. Sonja, I wish you was here every week because I would be so 10 times, 1,000 times more motivated every single week, girl. Because yes, I do have this passion and I want everybody to get it. And I don't care what you say about me, I'm going to keep saying this stuff until you get something. So that's being said. So thank you, Sonja. You just got me just like that. So as we wrap up our time together, now I need to calm it down. Let's start with listening to ours and watching ourselves and measuring our results versus our growth. Let's start watching. Let's practice that walk I was telling you about. Let's get some results versus growth practices going on. See, do you know what you need to do for that? Yes, you do. And I'm just knowing you will do it. So remember, the universe is constantly supporting you on your journey. And until we meet again, make sure you work on the best way to grow and to change. And that means you're going to do it from the inside out, because happiness is an inside job. And so now let's get those quick results over the growth. All right, guys. And Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And so it is.